Hey there everyone, welcome back to Programmers Mode. In today's video, we're going to understand about database per service pattern. Let's imagine you walk into a giant food court where every restaurant shares one single kitchen. If one chef burns something, the smoke fills the room, the oven gets blocked, and suddenly no one can cook. That's why in microservices, we often give each service its own kitchen, its own database eventually. This is the database per service pattern. Now, let's move to the architecture diagram. Here it is. Let me move this. The database service pattern means that each microservice owns its own database and no other service can directly access it. This gives services independence. They can choose the database type, schema, and deployment that best fits their needs without being tied to the other team's choice. Now, think of an e-commerce platform where it has order services that uses a relational database for transaction. There is a product catalog service which uses a document database for fast search. There is a user profile service uses a key value store for a quick lookups. If all three shared one big database, a slow query in one could lock resources for the others. With separate databases, each restaurant in your food court keeps cooking at its own pace. Now, implementing it usually means each service has its own database instance or schema. Services communicate via APIs instead of direct database queries. Any cross service data needs are handled through event publishing or API composition. This prevents services from becoming dependent on each other's database structure. Now, what are the benefits? It follows loose coupling. Services aren't tied to each other's schema. Independent scaling. You can scale the database that's under heavy load without touching the others. Technology freedom. Each service can pick the database type that works best for them. But a big mistake, letting one service sneak into another's database. That's why dependency and tight coupling creep back in. And suddenly your microservices are micro only in name. So think of your services like restaurants in a food court. Each needs its own kitchen to operate independently, making it own recipes and avoid chaos. That's the database per service pattern in a nutshell. That's all for this video. We'll meet again in next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.